Hey, what's up, guys? And what's up, Sussex Squad? Do you think I was going to leave you without a bedtime story? You guys, I have been scouring all the apps trying to find out what is going on with Kate, just to bring you up to speed if you haven't watched my videos from today. Yo, Kate is officially missing, or at least you can say that. Because remember how they said that first she would be around Easter, then it was a little later, then maybe she come trooping of the color. Well, guess what? Now they're saying that she's not expected to return for 9 months. William showed up looking a mess, stressed out. Harry rushed from the US to meet with the king for 45 minutes. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people were like, the derangers were like, only 45 minutes. Only problem is the king of the MF and realm said, oh, wait, you don't understand. Charles was just quiet. Don't let that 45 minutes fool you. They talked about a lot. Charles is now saying he's desperate to repair his relationship with Harry. Harry is, of course, he loves that man. It's his family, right? I don't think they changed, but whatever, right? Charles is desperate to repair his relationship with Harry. Harry said he was coming out to see his daddy, and his daddy only, he loves Pa, right? He tells his bedtime stories of Pa leaving him bedtime stories when he was a little kid in Spear. Okay, forget all that. Now, William is throwing temper tantrum after temper tantrum. I'll go over all that tonight. But let's get back into Kate, because that's what I really want to know. Everybody's wearing black, all this stuff. All right, let's get into this. Just to let you guys know, this stuff is super, super spooky. But let's get into it anyway. All right. All right. So, this is direct from our favorite legal eagle, but I wanted to share it with you. Credits will be soon. Okay. They said everybody knows Kate is MIA without a viable explanation. Yes, yes. They say it was planned surgery, etc., but I'm not buying it. Now, a while back they posted, and they got a lot of flack from some riled up royalists and even a few squatties who were utterly, well, she says abusive. So she pulled down the post, okay? Now, she's going to attempt to rewrite it from her notes, but know this right now, okay? She says on what she says. Now, to give you guys a little background, this source, for those who may not know, they work in the courts. She says, I won't tell you what I do, but it's a fascinating emotional roller coaster pretty much every day. They also mm, edit law journals, and they're also an author. Okay? She's worked in investigations for years. And by years, she means longer than some of us have probably been able to dress ourselves. It's something they've always been thrilled by. She says, I grew up with Jessica Fletcher, Perry Mason, Perard, James Bond, Miss Marple. Who's Miss Marple? Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. Some of the criminal law field was never a question. And as a result, she tends to take a bit of devil's advocate approach sometimes, not only looking at what she thinks is the right answer, but also what might be an explanation for the wrong answer. Understand that now, okay? Now, here's the thing. She wants to let us know this is completely unconfirmed, okay? But this is from the court jockeys, meaning reporters. They have an underground network of journalists in the national and international press in both court reporting, politics, entertainment, and etc. She said, I'm going to put this as brief as I can, but you guys, it's not brief. Buckle up, this is good. They know I'm a Harry fan and they bring me whatever is circulating. So this is what is floating but unpublished. Now, some have been published, but she's going to link it all together. December 28th, a call was placed to an unnamed individual informing them that a royal police convoy was leaving Sandringham and it's on its way to King Edward's Hospital. That convoy was subsequently videotaped near Harley Street approaching the hospital and was released via yet another source. Once it gained traction and went viral, it was announced that Kate Middleton was to undergo and then had gone through a planned surgery and all was well. The same day, the king announced that he was going into surgery in the same hospital for an enlarged prostate. An important note here is that the London Clinic, while a very highly respected private hospital in London, it is not the hospital used by the royal family. King Edward's Hospital opened in 1889 and was long held the royal patronage. And for at least 70 years, at least any major hospitalization of a family member aside from childbirth. That's Well, it's been at King Edward's. Members are always photographed outside leaving as well. The sudden use of the London Clinic for both Kate and the King was a red flag to many in the press. During Kate Middleton's stay in the hospital, only one visit was recorded. William arrived in a two-car convoy with his $150,000 plus electric Audi he had to buy after Harry showed his new Audi on TV. Hmm. Okay, back to the visit. The visit also included the once thought disposed Christian Jones. It lasted 15 minutes, and all members involved were dressed in black coats. The Middleton family, the couple's children, were not seen at the London Clinic. It is claimed that the king and his companion also visited Kate when Charles arrived for his procedure. Now, during this time, Camilla was seen visiting multiple times. It was also during this time that Kate's recovery time was being discussed. Hospital officials announced that she would need to be in the hospital 14 days, with some news outlets claiming her home was too cold for her return. Now, as a sidebar, Meadow also says this is from the Townsend's interview back in the 50s, when it was disclosed how cold Adelaide's cottage was. Subsequently, Adelaide's cottage had a full and complete renovation in 2015. This was well before any children moving in. Again, this is my own side note, I also never understood how they could say it was so cold and the future king is living there. It was further added that Kate would not be returning to duties for at least 3, possibly 4 months while she was recovering. And William would also be off duties in the time period in order to care for the children. Now, they make another sidebar. They say William and Kate and their children. Over the past 10 years, William and Kate have had 3 nannies, Jessie, Maria, and an unnamed temporary apprentice from the Northland Academy was mentioned. Maria has been the permanent long-term nanny. Jessie is believed to have been well past retirement, and no further discussion was ever had over the apprentice. Now, of the 3 children, all 3 are in school full-time. George is 10, Louis, the youngest, is 5 going on 6. Whether or not a full-time nanny is necessary is questionable, but if William isn't doing duties, we know he isn't, then one would expect he would care for the children in a normal family, that is. There's also a question as to the rest of the staff. Adelaide Cottage is a 4-bedroom home. 4 bedrooms on the Windsor estate. The Wells have a total reported of just over 60 staff. This includes household and office staff, security, etc. Obviously, they don't live in the house, but you can be sure they're cleaning it, cooking, doing security, etc. So there are staff members in addition to the nanny on site periodically throughout the day and possibly the night, definitely with security. Given that there are at least 1 nanny, multiple staff, and children are in school full-time, does William have to take the additional 3 months off to care for the children? It was argued Kate as well, but word is that she has 3 nurses tending to her during the recovery. Once questions were out about Kate's recovery period, suddenly Spanish journalists started posting. They had sources telling them that post-operation Kate had complications and was put in an induced coma. Once the story circulated, Charles and Kate were both magically released from the hospital the same day, but only Charles was seen. Kate has been seen since December 25th, but Spanish press says their sources beyond reproach. I'm sorry, Kate has not been seen since December 25th. The UK press began ignoring the claims about the palace, supposedly blacked down from denials. At this point, they announced Charles had cancer and was on his way. Everyone caught up. All right, is everybody caught up? Okay, right? But let's get into this. Now, this is directly from Maple Leaf Fields on Twitter. I think it's Fields Leaf. Go ahead and follow her on Twitter. Her feed is amazing and really some really interesting articles that I think everybody would enjoy. But anyway, she goes on to say, now, that was the somewhat official account of what was happening. Behind the scenes, there are some different stories running, so I'll fill you in on what is being said. Once again, she says, keep this in mind, it's not confirmed. Some of this is theories, suggestion, gossip, rumors, etc. You get the point. Some have come from the tabloid press who don't want to print just yet. The rest have circulated in conversations and shared sources among the international press members. The reality is the tabloid press in the UK can't print any more than what they printed, regardless of how much truth there is in some of their sources and theories, which in a way is kind of nice. It's also, she says, frustrating because, well, Kate's missing, so to speak. So this is what's being said. Just before Christmas, several celebrity gossip pages and sites reported that a divorce announcement was going to be put out for a couple in the UK royal family. There was a fair bit of speculation between the Tyndalls and the Wales. I do want to point out as a sidebar, this was also printed in a lot of blind items, I believe in April of 2023 and June of 2023. All right. There was a fair amount of speculation between the Tyndalls and the Wales, but a lot of it got tossed to the side when the whole Epstein file announcement came out. January was looking like a busy month. Oddly, the whole police convoy happened at the end of December, which was rumored to have been Kate making a rather drastic choice after being confronted by William for the separation. Again, this is unconfirmed, but there is a fever pitch to this particular story. The gossip continues that it was Kate taken to the King Edward that night, and she remained there. The London Clinton was a distraction, and Kate was never there, which is why the family wasn't seen visiting and Willie just did a drive-by. Also, why, despite every exit and the only street covered by the press, no photo was ever taken of her leaving either. She was never there. Remember what I said about the London clinic being a red flag? Yeah. There were also reports trickling down from the staff that she was never seen in the hospital either. Again, unconfirmed. Now, fast forward to January when the Epstein files did drop, and suddenly Kate's surgery is announced as soon as Charles' surgery is due. The hoopla over the secrecy and the recovery period quickly wiped Andrew off the front pages. Keep in mind, this is what royals do best. While we're looking over here, they're moving the rabbit somewhere else. It's a magic act that depends on distraction. Once everyone got fired up about Kate, Charles was brought in to provide distraction. Now, at the same time, we have Harry and Meghan off doing their thing, and everyone is suddenly like, oh no, can't do that, people are sick. Now, keep in mind, Meghan had serious health concerns and a miscarriage, and no one cared. Harry and Beatrice were both diagnosed with dyslexia. Beatrice had 7 when her parents took her to get checked, and Harry while preparing for his military entrance exam close to 10 years later. Harry suffered from PTSD, now CPTSD, and ADHD, and no one did a darn thing. Grades didn't matter so long as he passed because he was the spare. So the whole Bob Marley One Love thing, get over it. But on that note, the journalists started talking and taking. And this is the part where everyone came at me, but I'm going to repost it either. They're saying Charles is down, Kate and William are out, okay? And the pickings are getting slim. The press outlets started letting up a bit on Harry and Meghan. Not entirely, but a bit. Emily Andrews admitted the whole Moonbup story was BS and Meghan had in fact been pregnant and Archie and Lily existed. Chris Shipp was considerably kinder in his reports. A few other outlets let up and focused on local news rather than hating on Harry and Meghan. This got the attention and discussion. Now she says, let me make this clear. This talk, this speculation discussion, no one here knows what Harry would do. Only Harry knows. But when Harry and Meghan have events, global press gets informed. UK, nothing, nada, zip. They don't talk to them at all. Understand the UK media has to rely on global and international press outlets for photos and info on the events they attend. They complain about it all the time. Speculation was that perhaps the palace might demand the press let up. An exchange perhaps convinced Harry to share more event info with the press. Harry and Meghan don't talk to the British media because of their coverage. It's lies, it's leaks, it's BS. The question being asked, if that stopped, would they then share more info? And in doing so, would they take the heat off the remaining royals who, let's admit it, are fried? Now, many people argue this, right? Saying it couldn't be. But get this, a lot of people don't think that's a stupid idea. An intelligent person would, in fact, ask that question. Many people feel that Harry has been hurt enough by these people and will never cooperate with them. Well, years ago, Harry said he was going to serve in the military to protect his country and his family because he loved them. He said he would protect Meghan and his children at all costs, but he also said he still loves his mother country and wants his family, not an institution. Harry has made it clear in his words and in his actions over the years that he's kind-hearted, compassionate, and he's empathetic. He's also very forgiving. Over the years, the royals have taken advantage of that. This again has all the bells and whistles of being taken advantage of. And that was before it was disclosed Charles had cancer. Right around that time, again, a lot of things took place. And there was an article stating that Harry and Meghan were the only young royals that could appeal to the public and had working royal experience. This is after Charles got diagnosed. This is very true, which is why the discussion was started, and it'd be very much a distraction from the UK royals' woes. Now, would Harry willingly participate? Maybe not. The hate that is spread each day is insane. And the end to that would no doubt be a relief to him and his family. Conditions would need to be, again, listen to this, conditions would need to be in place and enforced. And they doubt that Harry would continue to participate if they didn't follow them. It would help Harry and Meghan build their brand and promote their charities as well. It's possible. But I suspected, and I pretty much now had it confirmed, this is what Meadow Phil's is saying, that they might lure Harry to the forefront unwillingly and unknowingly because they do take advantage of him. And while there's talk of comas and cancer, and there's a rumor below the surface that Kate is not coming back this year, again, don't forget that article we talked about that Kate will be gone for 9 months. Now, but the front page comes to the cancer talk. Acute Charles's stages. The press releases word that Charles has cancer and Harry is on his way. Wait for it. The palace leaked that. Chris Shipp, who had been putting in a nice blurb here and there for 7 days, confirmed he contacted Harry's people, who confirmed Harry is coming. Hence, be nice to Harry and he'll be nice to you. An exchange of information. Although he looked like an ass if he didn't give them something back in turn to encourage some future kindness. Now, the source would like to think up a world where they get this concept and stop the BS in the press. But hey, That's where the money is, right? Now the chatter suggested they would put Harry in the forefront as a distraction. And they did. Did you see it? Charles announced his cancer on Monday. Prior to announcing it, he called all the family members, including Harry. Harry was there by Tuesday despite a 14-hour flight and a 2-hour drive to LA. A time to check in at the airport, a time prior to arrange the flight, cancel flights, arrange transportation, security, then London, customs clearance, clear the airport, secure transport, get to clearance house. If you consider the time involved, Harry would have to have dropped everything immediately right away. He looked stressed going in, elated going out. The press claims Charles intended to distract Kate by using Harry. I'm sorry, to distract from Kate by using Harry. If he played up that phone call, Harry came running as in his nature. You were all looking at Harry while William moved the rabbit. Did you see it? William and his entourage arrived at the London clinic all in black. The press, intent international and local, all in black. Presenters in black. Harry arrived in all black. Beatrice and her husband arrived in the king in black jackets. And Charles and his companion leave Clarence House in black overcoats. Black is the official mourning color of the royals. The only other family you see so much in black is at an evening event in gowns and tucks, funerals, Remembrance Day, and mourning. Why is everyone in black? Where is the rabbit? Because a simple picture would end the speculation of a reason of a 9-month break from duties. The story that circulated before Harry's arrival, William presented divorce, Kate refused to accept it and took action. A scenario B has Willie taking action against her, refusal. Those are the two main causes circulating. A time period for the two of them is believed to be in rehab and mental health services. This is only reinforced by the video yesterday of William arriving back on duty at the investure, swaying back and forth, his eyes and face looking like a drunk or a hungover villain. He dropped awards on the floor and could not for the life of him stop swaying. Later in the evening, he had sobered up a bit, and his pupils were wide and dilated like he had gotten a fix. Some people are sober when under the influence and drunk when sober. William has a history of smacking, slapping, punching, kicking, choking, and shoving people from his father, his mother, his brother, his family, friends, and schoolmates, teachers, as well as staff. If you happen to stumble upon him during a bike ride and he doesn't think you belong there, you'll get one heck of an earful as well. Best keep your camera phone out. There are photos and videos all over the internet from a variety of ages, and even a couple of very frustrated Diana trying to reel in Billy the Basher, as he was called in his youth by spanking him publicly at a school field day event. Harry also gives an account of one of his own encounters with William, as well as a family friend. The press reports heated arguments, thrown items, and William continuously being incandescent with rage. Kate, for her part, has literally wasted away in front of everyone, adding to the rumor of an ED, likely brought on by diminished mental health, which seems to be a theme in the family when it comes to women marrying in. Now, the rumors are spinning fast, particularly among press members who have been told to wear black until further notice. No explanation is given, but a common practice when a disaster has occurred and deaths are expected or a prominent public figure is passing and an announcement will eventually have been made. Once attention was drawn to this, broadcasters tried to change their tune, saying that they didn't have press in black. When you can clearly see them, or their outfits are navy blue. Some changed their reporters into the biggest, ugliest shirts ever, which has added another red flag. If that is how you always dress and there is no issue surrounding it, why issue a statement? Why change your reporters' outfits to such loud colors that they've never worn before? That's not obvious. I hate to say it, and it's just not her saying it, but she's repeating it. The general consensus with the court jockeys based on what info is circulating behind the scenes, unconfirmed. You understand that, right? This is unconfirmed. The cancer diagnosis has nothing to do with raising awareness. Nothing has been disclosed. What kind of cancer is it? Harry visited still thinking they played it up to freak him out and lure him to come as fast as he did. William back to work, drunk, hunk over, and subsequently smashed. All are to redirect your attention from the rabbit. She's not coming back, folks. Do with that what you will. Now, just to note this, someone did say, but that doesn't explain why the survival of the monarchy now depends on the obliteration of the Sussex and why Tom Bower, Piers Morgan chose formulations that the right people could interpret as a call to deleting Harry and Meghan. I don't think Prince Harry was just there. And Maple Leaf Fields, make sure you guys follow her on Twitter. This was an amazing theory and she deserves her credit. Maple Leaf Fields on Twitter, her handle is @FieldsLeaf, said, that might be the press getting pissy. Remember, they were told they can't report anymore, and now Harry has gone back, and they can't speculate on Kate. They aren't allowed in the UK. Charles is off. The only thing to talk about is William and how drunk he looks, and the rest are like, this might be one of those biggest distractions of all. More calls to hate on Harry and Meghan get everyone fired up on both sides, those who hate and those who want it to stop. I'm not saying I agree with it, but from a game playing point of view, it would be the perfect move. But seriously, report it, people. Report it, because she's encouraging people to report it, saying this is inciting violence, and if something does happen, you're equally responsible if you sit and do nothing, and no amount of crying and flowers at the gate brings people back. This isn't the Bible. Report those hateful old geezers to the authorities every day. Another person said, when you say Kate is not coming back, do you mean Kate is deleted? Given everyone wearing black? She said that is speculation, but I don't think she'll be back for official duties regardless at this point by the sound of things. But I'm not holding my breath on seeing her again, the way things are looking and how people are talking. Nothing they say adds up. Another person pointed out both official palace statements about Kate admitted the statement that they expect her to make a full recovery. If she's gone, let's game this out. They have lost the prime opportunity to blame an infection. According to their own statements, she's at home working in bed. If she truly was working for bed, why not publicize? Take a nice picture of her on her laptop, or even film a FaceTime to her supporters and to put it on social media. It's not that hard to turn this into an amazing press fodder for the royal family. Another person said that is what I find so baffling, because they would normally be salivating at the headline mileage she could get and wouldn't even be salacious. It would be her smiling, the big she's leaving the hospital now with a waving front page photo. This is her kids visiting, etc. Anyway, listen, a lot's going on. There's a lot going on, but I think one thing we can agree is something very, very dark is going on. And I don't care what anyone says, and I'm really starting to agree with Maple Fields Leaf. Was that whole little stunt at an all-white Christmas, is that the last time that we're ever going to see the Princess of Wales for official duties, one way or the other? You guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. I hope you enjoyed this prolonged bedtime story, but it had to be said. I'll talk to you later. Bye.